Live across Australia, this is Sunrise Early News.
Good morning. Prince Harry's legal battle against Rupert Murdoch's tabloid newspapers has come to a stunning end, with Harry receiving a substantial sum of money and a rare apology. Let's go live to Joel Dry now, who is in London. Joel, good morning to you. So Harry was given an apology for, quote, serious intrusion onto his and also his late mum's lives.
Yeah, good morning, Monique. It was a staggering win for the Duke of Sussex against Murdoch's News Group newspapers, and he didn't even have to go to trial to get it. In fact, he's not even in the country. This settlement on the eve of a potential 10-week case really gives Harry everything he was after, particularly vindication for this campaign he's been waging for 5 years against the tabloids. As part of the deal, the News Group offered a full and unequivocal apology. In it, it says that they apologise for the serious intrusion by the Sun between 1996 and 2011 into Harry's private life, including incidents of unlawful activities. They also went on to apologise for the stress caused for the intrusion into the life of his late mother, Princess Diana. So there is then, of course, the settlement. It is rumoured to be somewhere between 10 and 15 million pounds, but as Harry always said, this was about getting accountability.
In a monumental victory today, News UK have admitted that The Sun, the flagship title for Rupert Murdoch's UK media empire, has indeed engaged in illegal practices.
I once said that the big beasts of the tabloid jungle have no predators. I was wrong. They have Prince Harry.
So that is his co-claimant there. They were just the two people who lasted this long continuing their fight. A big payday for them, but for Harry, his legal fight may continue. He still has a case outstanding against the publishers of the Daily Mail. He and also some of his many team members want to see some criminal charges brought against some of these people accused of illegal activities.
Wow, that is extraordinary. All right, thanks very much, Joel Dry, for us there in London. Back home, Queensland government workers are being urged to avoid high-energy tasks as the state swelters through another heat wave. Between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m, employees should turn off their computer screens and stop using lifts when possible to reduce pressure on the strained power grid. More than 14,000 homes in the state's southeast lost power last night as residents tried to find a reprieve from the heat. Sweltering temperatures in the mid to high 30s are predicted to stay at least until the weekend. Police are closing in on a second person involved in a failed firebombing attempt on a synagogue in Sydney's inner west earlier this month. His alleged co-conspirator, a 33-year-old man, has been charged, accused of spray painting the holy place and trying to burn it down. It's the latest in a string of arrests targeting individuals believed to have carried out recent anti-Semitic attacks across the city. The Carlton president has sensationally stepped down from his role over the nude photo scandal embroiling the club for weeks. In a statement, Luke Sayers expressed, quote, deep regret over his family, friends and colleagues getting caught up in the matter. But the AFL's integrity unit found that Sayers' X account had been compromised, clearing him of any wrongdoing. It's unclear who was behind that post. A massive pub company is encouraging patrons to celebrate the long weekend but refuses to acknowledge Australia Day. Australian Venue Co has not included mention of the national holiday in their promotional material, but it's still unclear if customers will be forced to pay public holiday rates. The hospitality giant apologised last month after revealing that no Australia Day celebrations will be held at its venues to avoid inflicting hurt and sadness onto its guests. Sydney train passengers can finally breathe a sigh of relief after a ceasefire was declared on its city's ongoing rail pay dispute. The rail union agreed to scrap all of its 350 of its work bans, while the state government has dropped its legal action.
Obviously, that's a breakthrough that we've been waiting for a long time.
Passengers will no longer be caught in the middle while this dispute is negotiated.
If there's no pay agreement in place by next month, commuters are being urged to brace for a new wave of chaos. Meanwhile, electrical workers are also threatening to resume their industrial action in early February, calling for a wage hike. An eye-watering debt bomb is close to detonating in Queensland, predicted to be worse than the bill left behind by former Victorian Premier Daniel Andrews. Treasurer David Janetsky will reveal Queensland's debt could reach $217 billion by 2028, plunging it deeper into the red than any other state in the country. He's accused the former Labor Treasurer Cameron Dick of deceiving residents, but hasn't revealed how the state government plans to deal with the ballooning figure. 2 Sydney men charged by the New South Wales Police, an anti-terrorism task force, were reportedly hired by an unknown criminal known to them only as James Bond. The pair were allegedly hired to carry out a firebombing attack on a Jewish deli in Bondi, but it appears that they hit the wrong target. Instead, a nearby brewery with a similar name was torched on October the 17th with $80,000 worth of damage done. The pair were caught on CCTV and were arrested by police soon after. It follows an announcement by federal police that overseas actors may be enlisting local criminals to carry out anti-Semitic attacks across the country. Cruising giant P&O is in damage control after crew members made a disturbing fancy dress faux pas. They dressed up all in white with pointy hats almost identical to the Ku Klux Klan, leaving passengers offended and shocked.
Marching out after Santa, dressed head to toe in white and pointed hoods. Whoa! Passengers were left gobsmacked when staff appeared to come dressed as the Ku Klux Klan on board P&O's Christmas cruise from Melbourne to Hobart.
Everyone just stopped and just looked. I actually felt sick as soon as I saw it.
Come on. No one can seriously think that was their intention. Our housekeeping crew were dressed as snow cones.
The group had reportedly refashioned their cleaning uniforms for the family-friendly event.
Our crew are from different cultures all over the world. They're young and they had just never heard of that organisation or what their outfits could symbolise.
They were ushered away and told to change.
There was nothing from management in regards of, look, we want to apologise, how we look, how they're represented.
One passenger emailed and called P&O after the cruise in December, but only heard back yesterday after the video appeared in the media. They say the company was trying to sweep it under the rug.
Today, the cruise liner offered a sincere apology for the distress caused. Bethan Yeoman, 7 News.
Crews in Sydney's west have worked through the night to stabilise a building after a collapse at a demolition site in Burwood. Part of the building, which was already being pulled down, fell without warning after wild winds picked up across the city yesterday, damaging some of the scaffolding. Heavy machinery was brought in to keep the structure upright and workers safe. Dozens of people were evacuated from nearby buildings for their safety. A Perth teenager accused of launching a brutal attack on a police officer has had his day in court. It's alleged the 16-year-old led a charge of other teens punching and kicking an officer until he hit the ground. His lawyer indicating plans to fight against the charges.
Is there anything you'd like to say?
2 other children will face the Children's Court on assault charges. The senior traffic officer was badly bruised, needing stitches after the horrific attack. 2 women have had to be cut from a 4-wheel drive after a spectacular crash at Hackney in Adelaide's inner east. The Mitsubishi rolled on Hackney Road near Botanic Park just after 10 o'clock. The driver was left bleeding from her forehead, while her passenger's injuries were less severe. Australia's richest woman is calling on our politicians to follow in Donald Trump's footsteps. Gina Rinehart wants the Albanese government to pull out of the Paris Agreement and establish a Department of Government Efficiency. The mining magnate warns that our country could be left behind if it doesn't adapt to the new US policy agenda. The proud Trump supporter attended the president's inauguration this week, rubbing shoulders with high-profile figures from around the globe.